going to talk about a poem which is related to oneness. By oneness, I mean everyone is the same. No one is a stranger. Check the poem. No Men Are Foreign by James Kirkup. Can we look at the picture? Can you relate? Can you connect the picture to the title? Yes, no one is a foreigner. No one is a stranger. Yes, everyone is born with the same parts of the body. I mean, just the features are different, but ultimately everyone's heart beats. So yes, let's go further and find out about it. First, about our poet. James Harold Kirkup was an English poet, translator and travel writer. The poet has seen the destruction of earth because of World War II. So, he has seen the destruction of earth. Keep this in mind. He knew well how ultra-nationalism can destroy the beauty of earth. Right? See, he's not talking about one particular country. He's talking about the entire earth, the beauty of earth, and how ultra-nationalism can really destroy it. This poem is a message to all human beings that we should love each other and never consider anyone as a stranger. So this is what the poem No Men Are Foreign is going to tell us about. So yeah, as always, I shall recite the poem. It's for you to keep thinking over every word, every line till I explain the same to you. Even think of the rhyme scheme, right? If not, you know what it is. Yes, it's a free verse. Yeah. So if there is no rhyme scheme, the last words are not rhyming, then it's a free verse. Yes, rhyme scheme and of course the poetic devices. You'll get it all within no time, but before that, let's, look at the poem. Remember, no men are strange, no countries foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this in which we shall all lie. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winters starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Remember, they have eyes like ours, they wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. So beautifully said. It is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. So it's pretty beautifully explained, pretty clear, pretty lucid. It's clear enough to understand what the poem is actually trying to tell us. So yes, the theme, the poem No Men Are Foreign, written by James Kirkup, is about universal brotherhood, love, harmony, and equality. In this poem, the poet says that we all live on the same earth, have the same body, emotions, food, etc. It's true. We are all on the same earth, right? We have the same body. We are all having our limbs, it's all the same, right? Even emotions, everyone has anger, happiness, sadness, all about the same. Food, of course, it's just the different ingredients, the different tastes, but food is food, and lots more. We all are on the same page. So, he's talking about universal brotherhood, love, harmony, and equality. There is no difference between us. Hence, we should never consider people from other nations as aliens or strangers. So someone coming from a different country, oh, they are our enemies, don't talk to them, you're not supposed to, write about them, you're not supposed to tell anything about them, you're not supposed to love them, nothing of the sort we are not supposed to do, because there is no difference between us. The poem further will tell you at length what difference is not there. There is no difference. So it has been divided into 5 stanzas having 4 lines each. We will learn the poem word by word in order to understand the meaning of the lines as well as the hidden meaning. Yes, the hidden meaning is what you're going to know about. Now, before we move further, the figures of speech, the poetic devices or the literary devices that have been used in the poem, alliteration, when it is a repetition of the initial letter, the first letter of your word, which is generally a consonant of several words, marking the stressed syllable in a line of poem. So in the same line, if you find, see, I'll give you an example. I've always given you the same. Betty bought a butter, the butter was too bitter, so Betty bought another butter to make the bitter butter better. So it's burr, 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 right? That's repetition. But then this happens in the same line. Yeah. Talking of enjambment, running lines of poetry from one to the next without using any kind of punctuation to indicate a stop. No punctuation is used. The meaning gets carried forward. So basically, the first line is not complete till you talk about the second line. So the meaning is carried forward. So that is enjambment. We talk of metaphor. It is a word or a phrase which is used to represent something else. We will talk about it here. Repetition, same word is repeated more than once in the same line. Yeah, so the same word is repeated in the same line. You have to take care of that. So you see there is a difference between alliteration and repetition. Don't get confused. Alliteration, only the first letter is repeated, whereas repetition, the same word is repeated. So take care of that. Keep it in mind. It's good to know. So talking of lines 1 to 8, remember, no men are strange. See, this is how our poem starts. Remember, no men are strange, no countries foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is earth, like this in which we shall all lie. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by wars, long winters starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Labor as in work. We know it's work, typically physical in nature. Yeah, something that you have to do. All right. So let's see what these lines actually are telling you. What's the meaning? The poet says that we should remember that no men on earth are strange and no countries foreign. We talk of foreign countries, we talk of going abroad. Yeah, this is one thing I'd like to bring to your notice. Quite often when I ask the children, where are you heading towards, during a Diwali vacations, ma'am, we are going foreign. What is foreign? We are traveling abroad. Just learn to speak better. It sounds better. Yeah, so just came to my notice. So I thought I'll share it with you. Beneath all the uniforms, all the people on the earth have the same bodies. Uniforms, as in we are talking of all the different people that belong to the different countries. So beneath that, everyone has the same body. Hence, we should never consider people from other countries as strangers. How are they strangers? Just because they stay across the border, there is a border to their country and yours, or the various borders throughout the planet Earth. Wherever there are borders, there are divisions. So if you remove all the borders, you are all one. You are all just living on earth. These divisions have come, and that's how they've made you strangers. That's how you consider them as foreign. That's not the case. It should not be the case. Hence, we should never consider people from other countries as strangers. In the third line, the poet says that our brothers also walk upon the same earth on which we walk. Even they are our brothers, right? They walk on the same earth. So do we. Earth is the same everywhere on which we all lie, right? Ultimately, when you die, right, you will be buried in that same earth. So it is the same earth that we walk upon. It is the same earth in which we shall all lie after we breathe our last. According to the poet, people in other countries are also aware of sun, air and water. That is, like us, they also get the same sunlight, air and water. Has God, given you the different categories? So this is a good country, this comes first, this is best in this, so I should give more sunlight there, I should give more air there, more water there. Has He created any differences? No. Then who are you and I? Who are we to do that? When He has no discrimination, why are we doing it? We are not supposed to. So when He can give us all equally, why don't we consider everyone equal? Like us, they also love peaceful harvests after suffering the winter of war. Long winters, cold winters. After, those winters of war, they fight the winters. But after that, they enjoy peaceful harvests. Peaceful harvests symbolize peace, and wars, long winter starved, symbolizes destruction caused by wars. You know the destruction caused by wars, right? There is bloodshed, there is killing, there is fire. What do we do? Why do we do it? What does it give you? How does it benefit you? This is something, again, we are not supposed to. These wars are fought in the name of nationalism, which the poet does not like. In the next line, the poet says that the hands of the foreigners are also like ours, and they also work hard to earn their bread and butter like us. All of us do the same. People living in America, people living in Japan, people living in France, everyone works hard. Everyone works to earn their bread and butter. No one's bread and butter grows on the trees. Everyone works. Everyone's hands are the same. Everyone does the work to earn some money and to feed the family. So we are all following the same. We have the same resources. Everything is just the same. Yeah. So why all the differences is, that's what he's trying to tell us. Now, like I told you, let's have a look at the figures of speech or the poetic devices of lines 1 to 8. So you have repetition in two cases, like it is na, no, no. We also have there, the same word is being repeated in the same line. Okay, moving on to alliteration. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. So it's b beneath, b body, b breathes. We also have alliteration in this line. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon. It's like, land, l. Right? Now, moving on to metaphor. Metaphor, beneath all uniforms. Now, you remember the definition of metaphor, it represents something else. So, beneath all uniforms actually represents the military of the different countries, right? So, all uniforms, the different uniforms, right? They all wear. That's metaphor. If I talk of another metaphor, are fed by peaceful harvests, by war's long winters starved. As in, here we are talking, peaceful harvest is talking of peace, and winter starved is talking about wars. They are actually symbolizing that. Now, if I come to enjambment, now you see the line is being, it's a running line. It's being carried forward to the next line without any punctuation. So, beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. Breathes like ours. It is a running line. It doesn't stop at breathes. It's a continuation. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. So again, it's a running line. That's the reason it's enjambment. One more enjambment is, their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. Again, a running line, so enjambment. Yeah, there is no pause, there's no punctuation. We have to go to the next line. Moving to the next set of lines, 9 to 16. Remember, they have eyes like ours that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. Can you see the running lines? In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, as in dislodge or deprive, betray and condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. This is how it goes. Let's see, what does it tell us? He says that we should remember that they have eyes like ours, which either wake or sleep. Their eyes open, their eyes shut, their eyes see everything. It is the different the different parts of the body performing the same functions, right? With the hands, they work. With the eyes, they see, they get up, they sleep. They also have strength, that's emotions, which can be won by love. Whatever be the problems, you can definitely fight them through. Rather, you can settle them down with love. In every land, that's country, people live a common life which we can recognize as well as understand. It's true. Whenever you go to any country, whenever you are traveling abroad, right, you look at them. Yes, you will find a different infrastructure, you will find a different dressing sense, you will find the different cuisines, quite a lot of things, like even the language will be different, but ultimately all belong to the human race. Yeah, that's the only difference. Those borders don't make it different that way, right? We all belong to the human race. So in this stanza, the poet says that whenever someone asks us to hate our brothers, that is, those living in foreign countries, living in different countries across the border, we should keep in mind that we are hating none but ourselves. We are not hating them. We are hating ourselves only, because they and us are the same. So again, we are hating ourselves. We will be dispossessing, as in take away things or land from others, or betraying, deceiving, or condemning, abusing, or taking weapons against none but each others. We will be cheating ourselves. We will be depriving ourselves. We will be abusing ourselves. We will be taking arms against them. We are taking it against ourselves. Why? Again, because we are one and the same. Hence, we should keep in mind that we are hurting none but ourselves. Don't you think if you shoot them, you feel the pain? Why? Because again, we are all one. It's all about universal brotherhood. Just like we are, so are they. It's nothing different. Yeah? Coming to your poetic devices, alliteration, sir, sleep, sir, strength, repetition of the first letter. Enjambment, again you have the running lines, the meaning continues. Remember, they have eyes like us that wake or sleep. So it's a running line. And strength that can be won by love. No punctuation, no pause. In every land is common life. Life is common in every land. Enjambment, again, it's the same thing if you still go further. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. It's a continuation. Still another enjambment. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, I am not stopping here. So it's a running line. It's continuing. We are told to hate our brothers. It is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, and condemn. Yeah? Alliteration. We who arms against. It's AA, it's WW. Yeah? Like we said, it is the repetition of the first letter. Now, moving on to your concluding paragraph. It is the human earth that we defile. Defile as in we make dirty or we pollute it. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence, as in we violate the purity, the innocence, the purity of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. Just look at the last line and look at the first line and tell me what's the difference. In the final stanza, the poet says that it is the human earth, that land of human beings, which we will defile, which we will destroy. What happens? Like I already told you, when we have war, okay, when we fight a war, what happens? You kill each other, there's fire, there's destruction. When someone shoots somebody, that person falls on the earth. Where does the blood go? On the earth. We spoil it. when you're shooting bullets in the air, you're killing somebody, there's blood, there's so much of, so much of destruction everywhere. This is the same thing that they're talking about. The hells of fire, that's hatred. So the hells of fire standing for hatred, and dust, that's ignorance, will take away the innocence of the air. That is the beauty of air. The air gets polluted, which is our own everywhere. It's the same air everywhere. It's not different in, Japan. It's not different in India. It's not at all different. In the last line, the poet says that we should remember that no men are foreign and no countries strange. Remember, when we spoke of the last line, and if you look at the first line is telling you no countries are strange and no men are foreign. Here it is telling you no men are foreign. It's just reversed. Yeah, ultimately it gives you the same message, the same meaning. Yeah, enjambment, it's a running line. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air. So it's a running line. Repetition, no, no, right? The same word is being repeated in the same line. So I guess we have got that message, and I guess we nurture the message very well deep in our hearts and actually make sure nothing is more barbarous than war. Nothing is more brutal. Nothing is more destructive than war. Nothing is more cruel. Nothing is more pitiful than a nation being swept along by fools. You have Daisuke Ikeda, who tells you that if a nation is being swept along by fools, if you are, listening to people who are asking you to hate the others, it's definitely not to move along in that rat race. Just stay steady and just imagine, just recollect that yes, if we are hating the others, they are we only. It is us only we are hating, we are cheating, we are deceiving, we are condemning. So stop it right now. Think it over, ponder over it, and get to know the right message. Take it to your heart and follow the same, right? So yes, keep watching and keep learning.